a never-ending search for the truth, and a quest to always do the right thing for the right reason. There is a reason cases are tried in a court of law, not in the court of the public, and not by the media, because details have to come out in excruciating and minute fashion, detail by detail, bit of evidence by bit of evidence. And it's only then when the trier of fact, whether it's a judge or a jury, gets all of those details, that then the law is applied to that and a decision can be rendered. We will scrupulously adhere to our ethical obligations and to the rules of evidence in presenting this case that way. Today, we filed an information charging George Zimmerman with murder in the second degree.
Yes!
A capias has been issued for his arrest. With the filing of that information and the issuance of a capias, he will have a right to appear in front of a magistrate in Seminole County within 24 hours of his arrest, and thus formal prosecution will begin. We thank all of those people across this country who have sent positive energy and prayers our way. We ask you to continue to pray for Trayvon's family as well as for our prosecution team. I want to especially thank Mr. Crump and Mr. Parks, who have stayed in touch daily with us on behalf of our victims' family. Remember, it is Trayvon's family that are our constitutional victims and who have the right to know the critical stages of these proceedings. I will entertain some questions, but remember, we have very strict rules of ethics, very strict rules of criminal procedure, and we will be adhering to those rules.
Can you confirm that Mr. Zimmerman is in custody? Can you confirm Mr. Zimmerman is already in custody?
I will confirm that Mr. Zimmerman is indeed in custody.
Can you tell us where? Can you tell us
I will not tell you where. That's for his safety as well as everyone else's safety.
What led to your decision today?
I'm sorry.
Can you tell us what led to your decision today? Was there one single piece of evidence that led you to charge him with murder in the second?
We don't discuss the evidence in a case. It would be improper to do so. It was a full investigation, full facts and circumstances that lead us to any decision in any case.
Ms. Corey, can you please tell us if he turned himself in?
I'm sorry?
Did he turn himself in or was he arrested?
Mr. Zimmerman turned himself in and was and by turning himself in was arrested on the capias that had already been issued.
Why did it take so long to come to this decision?
Well, it didn't take long. We have many complicated homicides that are thoroughly investigated. Remember, the prosecutor's burden under our Constitution is proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
But it's been 45 days since Trayvon Martin was killed. Can you talk about the process leading up to this? And did somebody drop the ball in the investigation?
I can tell you that this investigation was underway by both the Sanford Police Department and Norm Wolfinger's office. The investigation was in full mode, and the governor appointed us less than 3 weeks ago, and we took the work that they had done, which was significant. We carried on with that work, and we arrived at our decision approximately last week. And then, of course, following proper Florida law and procedure, we had to make sure we had everything in place to issue this capias and make this arrest. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what it was about what you uncovered that leads you to refuse his self-defense claim under the stand your ground law?
Well, that's what will be in court, detail by detail, piece of evidence by piece of evidence, factual evidence, physical evidence, testimonial evidence. That's why we try cases in a courtroom.
Can you tell us whether Mr. Zimmerman is in the state of Florida? Is there already a bonding process underway?
I can tell you that in Seminole County, and I want to thank their chief judge, he was very kind in helping us start setting these procedures up last week. He informed us that they have a bond schedule there. And when a capias is issued, there is originally no bond, but that Mr. Zimmerman's lawyers will be entitled to request a bond, at which point a bond hearing will be held. Bond hearings are a common occurrence. Our lawyers handle them every day. And that's where that will be determined as to whether or not no bond, which is the bond set currently on the capias, will be changed by the court. Yes, ma'am.
Have you determined whose voice is crying for help on the 911
That would be commenting on the facts of the case, and we're not going to do that at this time. Yes, Catherine.
Talk about why your investigation led you to a second-degree murder charge, whereas the Sanford police investigation didn't even lead to arrest.
Well, I don't believe that question is accurate in the sense that when you have a homicide, Florida's jury instructions even say that before you can reach a degree of homicide, you have to determine whether a person has committed an excusable homicide or a justifiable homicide. All murders are homicides, but not all homicides are murders. And Florida's law clearly says that if there is the affirmative defense of, for example, excusable homicide or justifiable homicide, that should be determined before you go to the degree of the crime. That's the process this case took. The only slight delay was the fact that the governor stepped in and appointed us to take this case over and handled it, and we did.
So did Sanford Police conduct a full and complete, I mean, if they had conducted a full investigation, do you believe Sanford Police would have arrived at the same point you did?
We work together with our law enforcement officers here. As you see, I have my sheriff and our undersheriff here. We work with all of our law enforcement agencies where we try to work these cases together. Remember, prosecutors are law enforcement as well. And we work these cases with our investigating agencies, and we try to come to as many mutual decisions as we can. This case was in that process when the governor stepped in and appointed us to take it over. We have continued to work with the Sanford Police Department